Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
And we begin tonight with police in Floresville asking for some patience from the public as they investigate a shooting in a busy part of town this afternoon. Police say that shots were fired a little after 3 o'clock behind the Holiday Inn Express, which is right across Highway 181 from the high school there. That high school was put on lockdown, but the shooting did not happen at the high school. Floresville police say the pursuit of the suspect ended a few blocks away on 7th Street. The Wilson County News is reporting that the suspect is in custody and was taken to a hospital, possibly with a gunshot wound. Also, according to the paper, this is a large crime scene, and the Texas Rangers have now been called in to take over this investigation.
More breaking news I want to take you to right now. This is the intersection of 410 and Harry Wurzbach. You are looking westbound. And what you were seeing off in the distance is an accident at 410 and Nacogdoches. It actually looks like it may be on the access road between Harry Wurzbach and Nacogdoches. It's causing a huge traffic backup in the westbound lanes of 410 as well as the access road that you see right there just off 410.
And you can see the traffic is crawling at best because of this accident. Certainly the time of day not helping. We're going to keep an eye on this throughout this newscast to see how things hopefully improve in this area. Again, 410 at Harry Wurzbach, but the accident actually at Nacogdoches in the westbound lanes. Traffic definitely slow going because of that.
To Bernie now, where a gymnastics coach is accused of exposing himself to children during a summer camp. 74-year-old Michael Spiller now facing 2 separate counts of indecency with a child. But
investigators fear there could be other victims dating back decades. Alicia Barrera is in Bernie with what police are revealing about Spiller's history in Bernie and across state lines.
74-year-old Michael Spiller bonded out of Kendall County Jail late this morning. However, he's once again behind bars for an additional charge of indecency with a child.
A grand jury indicted him this morning. And it is important for us to make sure that we get justice for anybody else who has been a victim.
Bernie police chiefs say the 2 counts of indecency with a child involved the same female victim who was around 12 years old when the alleged abuse happened.
The victim told our detective that Spiller exposed themselves on 2 different occasions during the bus ride. The victim stated Spiller would point the rearview mirror down in a downward position, exposing his genitals to the victim and possibly other children on the bus.
Spiller's charges allegedly happened in the early 2000s at a summer camp in Bernie Gymnastics Center.
We've talked to owner of Bernie Gymnastics. The cooperation is minimal, and I'll just leave it at that.
Investigators releasing a compilation of photos from Spiller's decades-long career in hopes that victims or witnesses recognize the suspect and come forward with information.
Our investigation shows Spiller has ties to several cities in Texas, including Houston, Giddings, Galveston, and Bernie. Over his decade-long career in gymnastics, Spiller has coached and has ties in New Mexico, California, Hawaii, and Europe.
The DA adding that specially trained victim advocates at her office are standing by to help assist victims.
Even if the crime occurred outside of Kendall County, the Bernie Police Department will assist you in making a report to the appropriate jurisdiction.
For those that may have been affected, here's who you want to report any information to. That's going to be to Bernie PD's lead investigator, James Vela. That number is 830-249-8645. His email is also listed on your screen, and investigators reiterated that it does not matter how long ago that incident may have happened. Steve Myra here in Bernie, investigators say that Spiller has been coaching for at least the past 30 years, and it was at the summer camp Circus Arts for Kids right here at Bernie Gymnastics Center, and that's located on the 100 block of Stonegate Drive. And the other concerning part was that Spiller was likely coaching until May of this year. Live in Bernie, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Alicia, thank you. A gun used in a string of killings, allegedly by a former Border Patrol supervisor, was shown in court today. Juan David Ortiz is on trial for killing 4 sex workers in Laredo. Erica Hernandez covers day 2 of that trial that's happening right here in Bexar County.
Body cam video and video from inside the Webb County Sheriff's vehicle that transported Juan David Ortiz was shown to jurors today. Ortiz is facing a capital murder charge for the deaths of 4 women back in 2018 in Laredo. Testimony today focused on the moments authorities spotted Ortiz after he was declared a suspect to the time he was arrested after he was found hiding in the bed of a pickup truck in a parking garage.
After opening the box, I do see one H&K P2000 pistol with one 12-round magazine.
Also today, a Webb County Sheriff Office custodian of evidence brought in physical evidence collected in this case, including the possible murder weapon. This so far has only been labeled but not officially shown to the jury. This weapon, a handgun, was found in Ortiz's truck after he was arrested. Ortiz himself can be heard telling officers where the gun was while being transported to a sheriff's office substation.
The 32? Oh, it's in the truck. Oh, no. It's in the truck.
According to investigators, Ortiz's motive for allegedly killing the 4 women was that he, quote, wanted to clean the streets of Laredo. One of the lead detectives on this case also taking the stand today. In his testimony, crime scene photos were shown. Because of the graphic nature of those photos, we will not be showing them. Testimony in this trial will continue tomorrow morning. At the Kidney Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
You caught on camera in Kerrville, police turning to social media to help track down the person behind the wheel of this pickup as it just rolls off with a trailer of scaffolding from a construction site this past Friday. The scaffolding's been recovered. The stolen trailer is not. The truck is believed to be a black early 2000s model Ford F-150 4x4. The trailer's license plate number 022162K. Anyone that can help officers track down those responsible or that trailer asked to call 1-830-257-8181. With perpetually understaffed jail, forced overtime is a main driver behind detention deputies' morale issues. So what do you do about it? The county contracted American Correctional Consultants in fall of last year to evaluate the existing systems and jail operations. Our Garrett Berger was there for their presentation to county commissioners today and to talk with Sheriff Javier Salazar about what he plans to do.
It wasn't a study focused entirely on staffing.
I'm recommending that we install cameras in all recreational yards for supplemental surveillance.
But that is one of the county's primary focuses when it comes to the Bexar County Jail.
But I think there's a fiscal breaking point that we're going to get to where we just can't simply afford millions and millions of dollars of overtime.
Beyond recommending a certain staffing model, many of the consultants' staffing recommendations revolved around morale, with ideas like revamping break areas, town hall meetings, and performance awards. The consultant also recommended switching sworn detention deputies out of administrative work that could be done by civilians.
These are certified detention deputies that are valuable resources that, quite frankly, should be working in operations, maybe reducing overtime.
The report comes in 2 months after a similar report Sheriff Javier Salazar commissioned, having often butted heads with former Commissioner Trishta Berry, who was the driving force behind getting this study done.
As it turned out, both consultants' reports were really pretty much in line.
And the sheriff appeared open to the recommendations.
Much of what he's saying is music to my ears.
This latest study shows pay lags behind jails in other big metro areas like Austin, Houston, and Dallas-Fort Worth. Even so, the recommendations did not include pay bumps, beyond an idea to offer a lump sum to help detention deputies who are buying a home.
Sheriff Salazar also thinks there are non-pay ways to sweeten the pot for his detention deputies, floating the idea, for example, of a hybrid scheduling effort with 12 or 8-hour shifts as a way to offer flexibility. At the jail, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Today is Giving Tuesday, a day to think about what we can offer to others. 4,500 Afghan refugees who escaped persecution have landed here in the Alamo City. While they work to support their families still stuck in Afghanistan, money is tight. So Courtney Friedman reports that earlier this month, the Jewish and Muslim communities came together to gather a basic item for local Afghan children.
Underwear, such a basic item, often overlooked when people make donations, but it's greatly needed at places like San Antonio's Center for Refugee Services, where right now there are 4,500 Afghan refugees.
A number of these families have multiple children, And so there is a constant need for underwear.
Dr. Michael Ozer is the chair of the Social Action Committee at San Antonio's Aguda Sahim Synagogue and chose to help local refugees under the umbrella of the national organization Undies for Everyone, created by Houston Rabbi Amy Weiss.
Not only we respond, but the Muslim community responds as well to help their own people. And I think that's what's beautiful about this event.
Earlier this month, Ozer invited the Muslim community to help collect donations and put together packs of fun, colorful undies for kids.
There are 360 packages of underwear here at the Refugee Center and way more in the back, and they will be given out in a few weeks at their holiday giveaway.
Gidi Siddiqui with the Muslim Children Education and Civic Center says this is one of several events she's done with the Jewish community.
We don't even think about it, that there is a difference and there's a difference. We respect each other's religion, we respect each other's views.
All of these efforts at cooperation between interfaith communities have to begin on the local level.
Both Ozer and Siddiqui are thrilled to do that while offering support to neighbors in need. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. It has been a balmy, humid day across South Texas.
But you know what? It's not a bad night to light up the skies. Maybe in Windcrest, our local City of Lights, Adam Caskey.
Oh, it's just one of my favorite days of the year, coming to you live from the City of Lights. It's the annual Light Up event where judges will go out, everybody who's taken part, including here, 700 block of Moorside Drive. Now, this is one of the cul-de-sacs that has really stepped it up over the years and really become extremely competitive as a block in particular, and it gets more elaborate the farther down you go. We're going to show you some of this throughout the 6 o'clock hour and, of course, get you ready for the strong cold front that hits tonight. Tomorrow, next few days will be very different. I'll help you prepare in just a bit.
It feels like spring, but some experts say now is the time to think winter. Tonight on the Night Beat, what you can do now to prepare your plumbing for the weather before it arrives.
New at 6, the life of a 20-year-old man who we here at KSAT have followed since he was just a toddler has sadly ended. But the legacy left by Conrad Tullis will live on. He died of a respiratory virus infection on Saturday after 18 years in a wheelchair. Ursula Perry with why Conrad's smile will continue to shine on those whose bodies are injured, but not their spirits.
This was Conrad Tullis's life in the first 17 months, a start like most cute kids. Then he nearly drowned in a family swimming pool. At the hospital, the doctors told his mother, time to make other arrangements.
They wanted me to institutionalize him. Other people are told to withdraw care, which means don't feed them.
Her stubborn plan proved to be a godsend for other children suffering from anoxic brain injury, a shortage of oxygen to the brain for too long. The therapy started, and so did the research, and the founding of a nonprofit to promote the research called Conrad Smiles. A nod to the doctors who promised Liz Tullis that her son would never walk, talk, or even smile.
But then he smiled, and I was like, there's another never that they told me will never happen.
Through the years, Conrad would go to school for the entire 12 years, graduating along with kids like my son Jackson. In fact, he was in transitional school and undergoing revolutionary therapy that was showing promise for creating sound on his way to talking when the virus struck this month.
He went away peacefully, and I think he just decided that his particular work in the world is done, but his legacy is not.
Conrad Tullis was never expected to live to adulthood. In fact, every milestone that he reached, he conquered. Among his accomplishments, the legalization of medical marijuana for brain seizures, as well as a whole host of brain research. But perhaps his biggest accomplishment was the hope that he gave other families. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look outside with Sky 12 tonight, flying high above Texas A&M San Antonio. The lights of Esperanza on the campus. They are about to light up the campus. They already have so many beautiful lights out there. Now just imagine when everything is turned on this evening.
There's going to be more?
Yeah, there's more.
Check back in with that.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
Yes.
By the way, You want to talk about lights?
There's
we
a
got
whole
some
lot
lights
more.
for you. We
Yeah.
got Windcrest. We got Adam Caskey. Is tonight when the judging starts, or is this just the first night they turn on all the lights?
This is the night the judging starts. Folks have been slowly getting everything set up, of course, around here. Many of them right after Halloween, they have to get going and get their lights set up. And some folks are still setting up, of course, but everybody who is participating in the contest and wants to win the prizes and be able to put the ceremonial sign of winning out in their yard, they've got to be ready to go right now, and I'll be busy judging in between the 6 o'clock here and the night beat. I want to talk about weather, then we'll show you some more of the decorations here on Moorside. 81 degrees our high temperature today, a balmy day, sunny 81, just 10 degrees shy of our record. Right now we're at 76, dew point is 61. It's warm, it's mild. Obviously we're running above average. That all changes tomorrow. And this is a good indicator. Look across the state. 70s to near 80 in South Texas, but you get up into the Panhandle, hello cold front, already down near 30 degrees in Amarillo, and that cooler air is pushing southward, and we're gonna feel it. It's gonna be one of those fronts that you notice and you feel it right when it hits us. Weather headlines. Tonight, the cold front arrives around 2, 3 a.m., give or take. And then tomorrow, that's gonna set the stage for a sunny but windy and cooler day. We go into Thursday, temperatures drop even more, and it's going to be one of those gray, cool, wintry days, just not much moisture associated with it. Okay, let's get to the big picture here. Take this full screen, and I want to tell you about the overall setup that's happening right now. You look off to the east of us, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. That's where the severe weather activity is. Tornado threat and severe weather threat there. You go farther off to the north, and well, that's where they've actually had some snow on the cold side of this system. You look at the temperatures behind the cold front right now, and we're talking 30s and 20s, even some teens as close as Denver and North Platte, Nebraska. That colder air is going to clip us. We're not going to get the core of it, but we're going to get clipped by it. So by midnight tonight, here's our futurecast, here's our temperatures, near 60 degrees. You're not going to feel the temperature drop until you wake up tomorrow. By 7 a.m., we're down in the mid 40s, so back to jacket weather at the bus stop tomorrow morning, and really the next few mornings. And not only cooler, but windy as well. Winds will be gusting probably up to 35 miles per hour in the hill country, maybe even up to 40. So we're going to notice those gusty winds first thing in the morning tomorrow. And then through the majority of the day, it's going to be fairly gusty and high temperatures right near 60. So let's break it down for you with our KSAT 12-hour forecast. 6, 7 a.m., about 44, 45 degrees. Clear sky, but a wind steady at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Then we get to the noon hour, mid-50s, and then a high temperature at 3, 4 p.m. of 60 degrees. That's about the best we can do. And then it gets even cooler on Thursday, down to 52, maybe a few sprinkles, but mainly just a gray day. Friday, temperatures start to rebound, but so does the humidity, so it's back to the morning fog and drizzle on Friday. So a few cloudy days to round out the work week. Get into the weekend, we rebound to near 70 with just a 20% chance of a stray shower. Unfortunately, no real or appreciable rain in the forecast anytime soon. But I tell you what, the weather next few days will definitely get you in the holiday spirit. So we're live here at Windcrest. This is the 700 block of Moorside. And this house right on the corner is going to get you right away between Parkcrest and Moorside. Notice the theme, Fiesta de Navidad. Little fiesta elements sprinkled in, including this Christmassy piñata, illuminated, but also the rope for it that goes up and over the branch, illuminated as well. So you see a lot of the traditional elements mixed in with these fun little fiesta elements as well. So it's a really good and fun and exciting combination of two of my favorite things, to be specific. And looking down the street, it gets even more elaborate. This is a cul-de-sac, and we're gonna go explore more of this the rest of the 6 o'clock show. So next half hour, we'll be down there where it's even lighter and brighter. And of course, we'll have the latest weather for you and keep you updated on that cold front that's headed our way, because I won't be in a short sleeve shirt tomorrow night, I'll tell you that.
Nope, looking festive. It's going to feel like it soon. Thank you, Adam.
All right, let's turn to sports right now. And they want to fill the dome. Want to break a record, Greg.
And you heard Coach Traylor earlier today say this season has been both rewarding and frustrating due to injuries. And one of the key injuries to their starting running back, who will step in and fill that gap. When we come back, we will let you know for their Conference USA Championship game this Friday night in the Alamo Dome. And the big game and our big game playoff coverage this Friday night coming up. The UTSA Roadrunners have been having to make adjustments all season long due to injuries, as head coach Jeff Traylor told us earlier this season. Has been rewarding and frustrating at this time. But among the injuries, Brendan Brady, the starting running back for the Roadrunners, who went down in the 34-31 comeback victory against UTEP this past weekend. As a result, Traylor has named Kavorian Barnes as his starting running back in this Friday's Conference USA Championship game against North Texas. Brady has played in all 12 games this season with almost 700 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. Now the redshirt freshman, who has 538 yards and 5 TDs, will be the number 1 back against the Mean Green.
Do what I can do, you know. Brendan Brady, he really put it on the platter for me, you know. I'm going to miss him, you know. I really hate he's not going to be able to play, but it's time for the next man to step up. And so I feel like I'm the next man. And then we got other running backs in the room that's going to be ready to step up as well. So I feel like us in the running back room will be perfectly fine. It's just the standard is the standard, and there's no gray area in that.
All right, following practice today, head coach Jeff Traylor continued his appeal to have the city, to have 50,000 or more fans in the stands for Friday night's game.
Morale of the troops right now are huge. It's been a long year. It's been a tough year. And all that stuff really matters. Or I wouldn't be basically begging our crowd to try to hit 50. And I really think we could hit 50.
The UTSA attendance record in the Alamo Dome is 56,743 in the Roadrunners' first ever game in September of 2011. While the UTSA Roadrunners are playing for the Conference USA Championship this Friday, the University of the Incarnate Word Cardinals kick off the SES playoffs as a 7-seeded team when they host 10-2 Furman after the Paladins defeated Elon 31-6, while the back-to-back Southland Conference champions enjoyed a bye week. Quarterback Lindsey Scott Jr. will lead one of the highest scoring offenses in the nation after throwing 50 touchdown passes in the regular season. How does he maintain his focus knowing he's getting national attention?
Being an older guy, I've seen a lot of football. I've seen a lot of other guys, when I was young, handle success and handle it the right way. I've learned from those guys. I go through every week. My motto is that every week's the same. No matter if you're playing great or playing terribly, you're blessed with another opportunity to play football.
Our guys are going to be fired up. That's what I told them. Our guys are going to be fired up. We know that. It's going to come down to the little details, right? The discipline aspect, who can control their emotions better.
Kickoff at Galen Tom Benson Stadium on Saturday is set for 1 p.m. The big game and a big game playoff coverage this Friday night will feature a battle of the unbeatens between two 13-0 teams in the Class 4A Division I state quarterfinals. For the first time in school history, the Greyhounds are 13-0 following their 51-0 victory over Port Lavaca Calhoun last week. That's after Cal Allen eliminated Somerset 31-17, but the Greyhounds behind quarterback Jackson Bays are averaging over 46.5 points a game in the postseason while giving up just over 11. And get this, Bays has 42 touchdowns to his credit with over 2,760 yards in the air and just 4 interceptions.
There's a lot of momentum coming off of that. That was a great win, 51-0. I feel really confident going into this week, and we know we can beat them, and we're just trying to be 1-0.
It's awesome seeing everybody do their job and being bought into the team, and we just want to keep advancing and take it week by week, no matter who the opponent is. They're a good team. They're undefeated as well, and we've been looking forward to this matchup all season. I just can't wait to play them.
All right, the Greyhounds host Cal Allen Friday night in Alamo Stadium. The kickoff set for 7:30. The Texas Longhorns have lost one of their quarterbacks, Hudson Card, to the transfer portal. We'll get into that a little bit more in detail tonight on the Night Beat.
Interesting. All right, thank you, Greg.
Our KSAT Q&A with Mayor Ron Nierenberg is up next.